Story 1. My 8-pound dog was hit by a car last night, but he came out with only a cracked rib and a broken tooth. He is very tough. Story 2. Sometimes I drive to work in my boat. As my username suggests, I am a marine systems technician and am lucky enough to live on the same river as my marina job. Story 3. I kicked cancer's ass. Edit. Holy shit. Thanks for the gold. Story 4. The love that I feel from my students each workday is amazing. I work in an elementary school, and I feel really grateful to have found a job that I love so much. Sometimes I wake up feeling down, but once I step into my workplace and see even one of my students, my morning lights up. This is one of my favorite examples of how loved I feel. Student: what age do I have to be able to go wherever I want? Me: I think you can pretty much do anything you want once you are 18. Student: how old will you be when I am 18? Me: 35? Student: when I am 18 and you are 35, can we have dinner together and see each other sometimes? I almost teared up. She might not even remember me when she is 18, but just the thought of her caring so much brings me so much joy. Story 5. Yesterday, the chief executive officer of the company I work for pledged to donate $4,000 I need for a surgery to save my eye. Edit. Important note: insurance in the United States does not cover the operation at all, so it is not the chief executive officer's fault for providing bad insurance. Story 6. Today is my wedding day. Wish me luck, everybody. Edit. Wow, I just logged in the next day and saw many of you wished me luck. It was one of the best days of my life, if not the best. In my eyes, it went perfectly, and I wouldn't ask for a better day. My wife was beautiful, and I cried when I first saw her walking down the aisle. Guys, don't be afraid to cry. It is a good emotion. Thanks again to everyone who wished me a happy day and marriage. I hope you all had an awesome day too. Story 7. I live 10 minutes from a small but fun ski mountain. I am excited for winter. Story 8. I finally have a stable job. Edit. I'm not sure if some of the comments are sarcastic or not, but I could have worded this a little better. I meant I have a secure job for a very long time that will be able to pay for my schooling. Although I do like horses. Haha. Thank you for all the words of encouragement. Story 9. I am in Hawaii all month. Edit. In Oahu, staying in the Waikiki and Ala Moana area. Story 10. I haven't been bitten by a mosquito for the past 5 or 6 years. I don't know why. I can be in a group of people where everyone else is getting bitten, and they don't even look at me. Story 11. My little brother and sister are becoming wonderful people, and I am so lucky to have them. Story 12. My wife and my son. If I think too hard about how much they mean to me and how lucky I am to have them in my life, I feel like crying. Story 13. My cat was angry at me because I accidentally stepped on her tail, but then I played Billie Jean for her and she started purring. Story 14. Found a €50 note in my passport when I checked that it was still valid for my upcoming trip. Story 15. I complain about my job, but honestly, it is really fulfilling and pays the bills plus some extra for my wife and me, so that is pretty great if you ask me. Story 16. I went back to college this past spring after 2 years of depression and drug addiction. Story 17. My 6-year-old daughter is the greatest and the only thing keeping me going. She is awesome. Story 18. Sobriety. I have not had alcohol in 1,986 days, according to my badge at the Stop Drinking community. Even better is the chance to advise and support people who are also making the journey into recovery. Story 19. I found an amazing apartment in my favorite city with my boyfriend, and it is very affordable. Story 20. Getting back home today after traveling around Europe on a tight budget. Story 21. After almost 21 years of being committed to a cult, I finally broke free a few months ago. Almost daily, I get to experience and learn new things about the world, especially through music, movies, and meeting new people. My mind opens more and more. Story 22. Apple picking this afternoon. Going to bake a bunch of small apple pies. Story 23. Original poster and everyone reading this. Edit. and the super kind and awesome Reddit users that gave gold to this comment. Story 24. All of you celebrating happiness in your life. Woo! Story 25. After years of thinking I would be forever alone, I got a date with a girl who is not paid to interact with me. Story 26. Thought, at 34, that my years of finding someone stable were probably behind me. Made my peace with it. Moved to a new city this year with a well-paying job and expected to just work and spend a lot of time by myself. Took our controller, as I am an information technology director, out for dinner one night just to thank her for being so kind to me when I was having trouble adjusting to the change. We are getting married in December. Story 27. I had the same best friend since we were 3 years old until we turned 21. Her new abusive partner cut off all contact between us. I searched for her on and off for 11 years, and we finally found each other after she left him in October last year. He nearly killed her, stabbing her multiple times. She is healing now, and when we met for the first time in a decade, we ran to each other like the 3-year-olds we were when we first met. Feels like we were never apart. I feel like I won the lottery. Story 28. I hit 53,000 words in the book I am writing, and I am only around halfway through. This is the longest thing I have ever written, as my first book was 51,000 words. I have gone through a real relationship with this book where I hated it for a while. But we went to therapy, worked out our issues, and now it is getting better. Story 29. I have friends now, and I am finally smart for my age. There is also a small chance that I will get a girlfriend in the coming weeks. Yes. Story 30. You know those legitimate work-from-home jobs that make over $100,000? I have one of those, and I have had it for the last 6 years, and it is excellent. It did require 7 years of engineering school, 8 years of working in an office, and strategically building a reputation for being able to work remotely, that is, not by selling oils, essential or otherwise. Story 31. My daughter. 2-year-olds have their moments, but she is so cute. She is starting to talk in full sentences, so we can actually have a two-way conversation. It's great. She is funny and actually tries to make jokes, which amazes me. She has started singing too, which is very cute. She is very affectionate, full of hugs and kisses. I got my first, "I love you, Mommy," the other day, and it nearly melted my heart. Yes, kids are amazing, but only your own. The rest are not as impressive. Story 32. I get homesick a lot and often forget that I have been given a fantastic life adventure. I moved to France and live with a wonderful man. It is amazing that I live in this incredible country with a French partner who can correctly identify random unmarked cheese on a plate. Thank you all for the responses and for sharing laughter with me. Story 33. I have been off painkillers for 10 days after using them for about 10 years. Story 34. Hurricane Florence caused minimal damage when it was expected to be devastating. Story 35. I am starting to text a girl, and things are going well. I do not know if she likes me romantically or as a friend, but I am excited to be texting someone. Story 36. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you are part of a team. Everything is awesome when we are living our dream. Story 37. While cleaning out my basement, I found the box of all the love letters my boyfriend wrote me while he was away at college in the 1990s. They are so romantic, poetic, vulnerable, and honest. They made me feel loved and special. Reading them again made me feel like my heart was brimming over. I went upstairs and gave that guy a kiss. We have been married 19 years. Story 38. Had a rough morning. Found this thread. Yes, you made my day, original poster. Story 39. I recently got into a relationship and have lost roughly 22 kilograms. Life is going amazingly at the moment. Story 40. I am 1 month from retirement at age 42 and have zero stress in my life. Story 41. This thread is super awesome. Plus, it's Saturday and I have been looking forward to today and doing nothing all week. Story 42. My daughter is incredibly impressive. She is 18 years old, autistic, and just graduated from high school. Now she is in the 18 to 21 program for special needs young adults. She is excelling. Story 43. Today is my boyfriend and my 1-year anniversary of being clean from a hardcore, years-long intravenous methamphetamine habit. 1 year today. We have both gained weight but feel amazing. He went through losing his mother on November 29th, and I was scared it would tempt him to use, but it did not. We have been through hell and back, and let me tell you, this side of the mountain is much better. Story 44. I am in medical school learning the material I have wanted to learn my whole life. It is very satisfying. Story 45. The people who surround me in my life. Honestly, I am so blessed. Story 46. I am one of those people who can eat a lot and will not gain weight. Story 47. The day after I was discharged from the hospital for a suicide attempt, Animal Crossing 2019 was announced. Story 48. My teacher told me my script for class was genuinely funny. It is meant to be a comedy before you say it. Story 49. I recently got accepted to nursing school when I did not think I was smart enough to get in. Story 50. My wife had this baby yesterday. Story 51. I recently cut off contact with a best friend from childhood. I had not realized how mean and toxic she was until I had distance from the situation. My entire friend circle is much healthier now, and it is fantastic. Story 52. My job is awesome. I am a huge cat lover and I work with cats. I take care of them, pet them, play with them, and help them find new homes. Story 53. My first son was born 2 days ago. Holy moly, that breaks the scale of awesome. Story 54. I am truly in love. After going through a divorce a few years ago, I did not think it would ever happen again. Butterflies, adoring each other, the works. Amazing. Story 55. The original poster is now the founder and proprietor of a successful karma farm. Story 56. I am alive in the same present as millions of other human beings, able to contact most of them in quick, efficient, and meaningful ways. If that is not amazing, I do not know what is. Story 57. I moved across the country for my master's degree. The city is amazing, and I am just next to the German border. I literally went to Germany to buy some groceries because it is cheaper there. It's not much, but I feel like it is pretty cool. Story 58. My wife has been so good to me, supportive through my transition and my depression, loving when I lash out, kind, caring, and completely non-judgmental of me or my choices. I do not think I would be alive right now if not for her. Story 59. I have the best family ever. My husband rocks and my in-laws are super supportive. But the best part is my awesome 2-year-old. It took 6 years and $30,000 to get pregnant. It was worth it all. I can honestly say that I have everything I have ever wanted. This post is full of positivity. What a great start to my day. Story 60. My dog and my other dog are super awesome. Story 61. My wife. She is just really amazing, kind, beautiful, very intelligent, super attractive, and good-natured. I won the lady lottery. Bonus. I got to marry her as I am also a lady. Story 62. After years of living in apartments, my girlfriend and I finally moved into a house. It has been pretty awesome with yards, garbage bins, and water hoses. Story 63. My 3-year-old daughter and I were watching Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood together. It was the episode where Daniel and his friend O are told by Dad Tiger that when they are afraid of something, they should think of something happy to make them feel better. Daniel then turns to the camera and asks the viewers, "What makes you happy?" My daughter gives me a big hug and says, "Hugging my daddy." It makes me sad to think that one day, as a teenager, she might dislike me, but I will do whatever I can to prevent that from happening. If there are any women here who have maintained a strong connection with their father through their challenging teenage and young adult years, could you please share some wisdom on how to keep that relationship strong? Story 64. I'm in the best relationship I have ever experienced. I am about to film a role for a Netflix independent movie. I am working on a cartoon that is doing really well. Things are amazing right now. If only I could get my anxiety and imposter syndrome under control. Story 65. In about a year, I went from being a groundskeeper to a guard at the guard shack to the assistant property manager of a resort-style apartment complex. I studied public administration and government in college, but I have found a greater sense of community. Involvement right here in my own apartment complex. Instead of trying to change the world all at once, I am working to make a big difference in the community where I live and work. It has saved me from depression by making me feel like I am making a positive change. Story 66. I just started attending university. I am a bit late in my education, meaning I am older than the rest of my class. However, I finally feel that I am on the right path. I love the material and just being there, even though I am struggling to fit in because of my past. Story 67. I was expelled from university due to poor grades, but I managed to turn my life around and find a job in my field of study, 1 year earlier than expected. Feels great to have everything work out in the end. Story 68. I am moving to the European Organization for Nuclear Research on Wednesday, where the Large Hadron Collider is located, and I am being paid. Story 69. For the most part, my commute takes me opposite the rush hour traffic. Story 70. I heard my first child's heartbeat for the first time. It was amazing. Story 71. My marriage. He is seriously my very best friend. I was married before and lost my husband in an accident. I never thought I would get to feel so loved again. Many people never get one. I got two. Story 72. This is probably going to be overlooked. My depression is gone. I lived with it for nearly 9 years. I started to heal after my mother passed away earlier this year, which made me reflect on my childhood and question why it took her death to begin the healing process. This journey has led me to self-discovery and helped me become the person I want to be. The mountain of depression, the gravity that kept dragging me down to the bottom where I constantly restarted, where I didn't love myself and the worst parts of me were always at the forefront of my mind. That struggle is gone. I am on the downslope now. It is easier moving forward. My mental health is a priority, and I am happy with my life. Truly happy to be on this journey to wherever it is we are going. Story 73. 2 for 1. I got a nice raise last week, and my boyfriend is cuddled up next to me right now. This is by far the best part of my Saturday mornings. Happy weekend, everybody. Story 74. For the first time in my life, I was able to get pre-approved and buy my first car. I went through the whole experience of picking out a nice car and knowing that I could afford it. Seeing where I was 10 years ago, at rock bottom, compared to now fills me with a strong feeling of accomplishment and pride. It has been a wild ride. Story 75. My grades are excellent. I have been a perennial dropout for years. I finally stuck with a program and I am excelling. Story 76. Going on a date with a very cute girl later today. Instead of feeling nervous like usual, I am feeling very good about it. Story 77. My job lets me fly for free domestically. I can also fly internationally for just the taxes. I have woken up at 5 a.m. before and said to myself, I want a Chicago-style pizza, and proceeded to get dressed and catch a flight to Chicago. Life is a fun adventure. Story 78. The fact that there are people like you in the world is pretty awesome. Original poster. You are reminding me that humanity has not completely gone to ruin. Love you, brother. Story 79. I have a job that lets me make my own schedule, so I can go on bike rides whenever I want. Story 80. I am married to the most wonderful, patient, kind, and gentle man I have ever known. He has brought an incredible amount of healing to both me and my adult daughters, who were teenagers when we married. My abusive former husband has left us alone for several years now. Life is wonderful. Story 81. In 10 days, I will have completed 1 year as a fully self-employed person. Story 82. Learning a new language. I love being able to have a conversation in a different language than my native tongue. Story 83. My girlfriend and I are a couple of introverts who push ourselves into exciting adventures. We usually have a great time. Story 84. Squatting on my pink gym ball while my boyfriend kneels beside me with a cocktail in his hands, so when I reach the bottom of a squat I can sip. Story 85. I'm finally getting along with my classmates. I had one of the best nights of my life yesterday, which ended with us at McDonald's at midnight. Story 86. My wife is pregnant with our first child, and she is due on March 15th. Story 87. My mother is here on holiday from the other side of the world, and she is the best mother ever. I love her with all of my heart. Story 88. Our autistic daughter has been making huge leaps in language development and started school this past week. We are very proud of her and how far she has come. Story 89. I am finishing medical school and applying for surgical residency training. I have been working for years toward this dream, and it is very close. Story 90. I will get married in less than a year to my best friend, and I am very excited. We will also travel to Europe a month before that. Story 91. I have a subreddit in my honor, and we have 20,000 subscribers now. The moderators are great people, and the comments are hilarious. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.